What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. This is episode 49 now on the series. As you guys can probably tell, I have quite a few updates to go over with you, but what we're going to be doing today with the main focus is we are going to be adding a plethora of track rides here to the Hardcore Park. In the last episode, we went over to the Paradise Park. That was our first park that we built, and sort of ran through all the rides, talked about why I did things the way that I did. Some things were pretty weird, some things were sort of realistic, I guess. But today we are back on the second park that we've been working on now, the Hardcore Park. Still don't have a good name for this one. If you guys have a suggestion, feel free to leave it down in the comments. But let's get into all of the updates. So starting off, you can probably notice we have quite a few more lights than we did previously, as well as this beautiful fireworks show. After the main fireworks sequence happens, these letters come up and it says subscribe to 2G. That might be a little conceited, but I think it turned out pretty well. I mean, it took me a long time to get those spaced out to where it would actually look good. Let's hop back into daytime mode here, 1 p.m. So if we take a look down here at the fireworks, these big tall ones right here, those are obviously the basic generic fireworks. They are 2G colors, however. And then these smaller ones down here, these are the sort of shaped ones. I think this one was a O shape. But if I zoom out here, you'll notice we have quite a few floating ones. We have some at this height. We have two at this height. That would be the T and the O for subscribe to. So yes, they are floating. However, that's kind of the only way to get it so the letters are spaced out vertically in the correct way. And there's the subscribe to 2G one more time for you guys. So, of course, it's in 2G colors. If I would have made it any other color, that would have just looked super weird. But that is one of the smaller adjustments that I made off camera. Another one that you might not have picked up on, but should be pretty obvious if you watched the episode 31, I believe, on this series. That should have been where we installed Robo Eagle 1 and Robo Eagle 2, which both of these need refurbished pretty badly. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. But take a look at how much taller these rides are now. I expanded the actual height of both of these rides, making their prestige insane for a flat ride. It's a 911 over here for Robo Eagle 1, and Robo Eagle 2 is now a 793, which is pretty good. I think before it was a 300, 400, somewhere in there. But they used to be shorter than the Little Dipper right here. And now they're, I think, the same height as the Big Dipper, maybe a little bit taller. So if we make our way through Central Park right here, you'll notice what we started in episode 47 with the hotel and the restaurant is now proper buildings. I didn't want to build these on camera for whatever reason. I just figured it'd probably be easiest if I made a similar building to our main central shops over here and built it around the existing facilities that we had. So we still have El Restaurante de 2G right here. It just now has a building around it. We also have a new addition to this side of the park that is putting a Hotel 2G over here. And the Hotel 2G that we originally had on the other side is still here, but we also added another El Restaurante de 2G out here. So since the restaurants were just extremely popular, it seems like everyone wants to go into these restaurants. I mean, look at the line out front of here. If we go over to the other side, I'm sure, yep, similar story over there. So we were taking away from the entirety of the business that we were getting in the central shop area right here. So what I did, instead of just deleting those shops and removing them completely, I just changed them to make them the gift shops because we didn't have any in the park. So we have a Looney Bloons, a Just a Momento, a Hats Fantastic, and a Pip Shot Water because we don't have a fourth gift shop option. And Pip Shot Water's kind of popular. It seems like a lot of people like water. Makes sense, it's good for you. And in here, it's just a better look at what's going on. We have quite the lines out front of each and every shop, which is great. So that is the central shop area all finished up now, all patched up, looking real good. There is one more small update, I guess, over here at the ATM for the Buccaneers Bounty, I'm sorry. I made them look a little bit prettier. Originally, we just had some ATMs dropped over here. I didn't realize either that you can actually adjust the color of the ATM, so just make a note of how bright poppin' blue that blue is. We'll come over here to the more generic ATMs that we've placed over here in front of the Hummingbird, and they're just a little dull looking. They don't really have a lot going on for them. So yes, I could go through and change all of them. Is it really that important? No. But I think it does make this area look a little bit nicer, adding a bit of decoration around the ATMs. Now, Buccaneers Bounty, obviously still super poppin'. Our other new track ride over here is still doing fairly well. Now, this one doesn't have a prestige, so I don't really know what to be charging for it. I think we're charging about 25 bucks for it right now, which seems to be working out just fine. So I think that is all of the updates that I have for you guys. Let's get into the main purpose of today's episode, and that is to add in a bunch of track rides. Normally, I like to build our track rides, but what I wanted to do today is just see how many absolute units of track rides we could put in under the blueprint option right here that are just sort of pre-made, ready to rock. Hang on, before we get into that, I have now set the 3 main marketing campaigns to just run indefinitely. They're just set for auto renew. I think they run for about 30 days, but that does seem to be helping us out a ton. We now have 7,600 people in the park, and we're making pretty good money by the looks of things. We're up to $50,000 in the park. We're on August 31st of year 21. And now with that said, I think we are ready to add in some track rides. So starting off right here, we have Tricky Plays Games. I'm pretty sure that this is a blueprint from the Steam Workshop, I want to say. I feel like Tricky Plays Games is definitely someone's like username. But anyways, we have this go-kart track right here, which looks pretty spectacular, if I do say so myself. Got a nice little castle that the road sort of snakes through. It's up pretty high, so I'm sure we can probably lower it down quite a bit. But I like that. That's a good option. Another option that we have, obviously, we've done Buccaneers Bounty. We've done Lay of the Land. We haven't done Quick Draw. We could do it. It was super popular in our previous Park Paradise, but almost too popular where people didn't really care about anything else. So I think we may skip out on that one for the time being. We have the Crank Start, which is sort of these old, like, Ford Model A looking cars, or Model Ts. Are they Model A's? They're Model A's, right? I'm not crazy. It's probably a really relaxing ride. I wouldn't say it's going to be very enjoyable, necessarily. Maybe for, like, families and kids might like it a lot. Otherwise, we have the Ring Racers. This is the default go-kart track, I believe, in the game. It doesn't appear to be made by anyone from the Steam Workshop, that is, but it's a good look. I mean, it's pretty nice. We got a champagne bottle up at the front spilling over. That's a nice touch. Just at the exit, so the winner's circle, if you will. That's pretty cool. I actually really like the decoration on that too. It's very simple. Other than that, we have Steam, which is another sort of car track ride, I believe. Let me get a good look at these cars. Yes, this is the Model A looking car. Again, there's only 3 on the track. I'm sure we could adjust that if we needed to. It's not a bad looking ride. It takes up probably the least amount of space of all the track rides we've looked at so far. We have the White Water, which I'm assuming is going to have a pretty poor rating just because of the fact that there is no scenery around it whatsoever. This one I think we're going to skip out on as well. The Boom Boat, kind of the same thing. It just doesn't have a lot going on for it. We could build a better log flume than this, I think. And then the last 3 that we have here are, of course, DLC that I don't own because I'm poor. But maybe someday I'll buy some DLC. Maybe I'll have money at some point. But those 3, they do look very cool. They do take a terribly long time to load in, so I don't think we're going to be getting a very good look at them based off of the ones that we have so far. I definitely think I want to do a go-kart track on this side, and maybe we could do like the default go-kart track over here, the one with the cool champagne winner's circle type of thing going on. I'm thinking about there's probably good. Can I lower it down anymore? All right, that's gonna have to be good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I do know the track has to be off the ground just slightly, so that should work out just fine. So we'll leave that one there for now. Let's drop in the other one that we have over here. The Tricky Plays Games Princess Amelie's Castle Carts, I believe is how you pronounce that, for 18,000 buckaroonies. This one's not going to place extremely straight, right? It's off a little bit. That should be okay. It doesn't need to be perfectly straight, although I would love it to be. Let's try to lower this down because it looks a little too raised for my taste. Okay, that should be about perfect right there. Now that we have it placed down flat, we should be able to move the entire thing. No, we can't. Okay, that was a mistake, placing it down like that. Let's try to do the multi-select tool here. Try to select everything in that ride. Hopefully that's all of it. And I'm going to push it out to the far side over here. And then I think that should be enough space, or should we bring it out a little bit more? Where's the entrance for that one? Okay, the entrance is about here on the other side as well. So I think this is going to be a good spot for it. Let's bring it over so it's closer to this path over here. There we go. That actually looks pretty nice. I'm happy with that. Place it down right there. Now it is going to get in the way of our fireworks, but that shouldn't hurt our firework presentation at all. I did add a vista point out here that occasionally people walking by will stop at and sort of look up at the fireworks exploding. Even these people, I guess you don't really need the vista point, do you? But it probably draws a little bit more traffic out in this area. And then we need something really big right here. Maybe we'll leave the vista point there, have the entrance and the exits on the left or the right side of the vista point. Crank start isn't bad, and it's square, so it would probably fit over here the best. But I have no idea where the entrance to this sucker is. That could be a problem. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we have to put it behind the fireworks. About there should be good. So how do we actually enter this ride? That's what's got me tripping a little bit right here. Like, where's the entrance? Oh, it's over here. Well, that's weird. So what? This is the entrance. What is this? An exit path? Do you have to walk around the entire ride? I don't understand what's happening here, but I guess I'll try to figure something out. That doesn't look terrible. That's not what I really envisioned for the entrance path here. I'm assuming that we're gonna have to get a much longer queue as well. So just to be preventative here, I'm going to make that happen. Okay, that is most likely going to have to do. I don't have a ton of room to get something super unique going through here, so I guess we'll just stick with that. It looks kind of funny, but that's all right. Moving on over here to the first go-kart track that we placed down. We're gonna do the same thing. Luckily, this one already has the entrance and exit path installed. And try to do something like that, I guess, looks okay. It's 10 feet wide instead of 13 for the entrance. And then the exit is a full 13 that just comes straight back to the main path here. But I think that'll work just fine. And lastly, we have this masterpiece. This thing looks awesome, you guys. Just because of the castle, I think honestly I would want to ride this. So we're gonna do a 13-foot wide entrance queue, and I'm just going to go off of wherever it snaps into. So right here for the entrance. Looks like the entrance is on this side. Okay, that is definitely not going to work. In that case, I guess we'll make the entrance queue 10 feet wide instead of 13. That should help. Okay, look at this masterpiece. This is one of those queues that, like, no matter where you're standing in the queue, you have no idea where your actual, like, placement is. Like, you don't know if you're first in line, second in line, third in line. You don't know if you're 854th in line. It is really a maze out here, but that's kind of cool. It's definitely unique. So we should be all set to open these things up, and we need to. We're down to 16,000 bucks now. We'll start by going over to this first go-kart track that we installed. It has a prestige of 934. So 934 divided by 35 would be 26.68. So we'll charge $26.68 for this one. Go ahead and open her on up. And now all of a sudden the prestige is a 1025. So we'll do 1025 divided by 35. That is $29.28. $29.28. Perfect. All right, looking good. And we already have our first group of people going in to ride some go-karts. Let's head over here to, what was this thing called again? Crank Start. That's right. This one we have to test, apparently, to actually open up. So we'll let that thing test out, and we can come over to Princess Amelie's Castle Carts. I think we'll just call this one Castle Carts, to be completely honest with you guys. Boom, there we go. Castle Carts. It has a prestige of 813, but as soon as we open it, I think that's gonna change. Yeah, there we go. So a 924. 924 divided by 35 would be 26.40. So we'll charge $26.40. We let a lot of people in line for just $5. So hopefully now that the price has changed, Jesus, look at the cluster of people down here, dude. All right, you guys gotta thin out. I mean, do something. Just fix yourselves, please. No priority queue for these. Of course, we're not doing priority queues for anything other than coasters in this park. Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? I have no idea. It probably doesn't matter too much. But all of these rides are now set up. We're up to 25,000-ish dollars in the bank now, which is looking good. Still not a soul over here. Oh, duh, it's not open yet. That kind of explains that. Let's fast forward then so we can open up Crank Start. All right, and we have a prestige of $11.59 divided by 35 would be $33.11. I should have made this a lot bigger, and by this I mean the queue, because this thing is tiny in comparison to the other rides that we have. And also, I just thought of a really, really good name for this thing. Take out the T and add an H. Boom, we have Crank Shart instead. That seems like the perfect name for this thing. We'll set the advertised destination for the sign for the ride. And now what we have to do is change the name over here for the ride itself from Crank Start to now Crank Shart. It's perfect. I wish we could add like farting noises to this. Am I being immature? We need some farting noises in here. Could we get like a trigger sequence that makes poo poo pee pee noises? Pee pee poo poo noises? Probably, but that seems like a lot of work. We'll just pretend that it has that. You guys, 8,200 people in the park now. That's crazy. Year 22, March 2nd of year 22. That's kind of ironic that we're in March in the game and it's March IRL. All right, so we have to adjust all of the operations for all of these things. Wait, why is it closed? What? All we did was change the name and now we have to test it again? That's some BS, dude. All right, well, let's change this to full load. We'll take off the wait time. Check, don't block the station. And we should be good on that one. We'll let that one test out again. Coming over here, we have to adjust this min rider load to full load as well. Take off the wait time. And it's on lapping for 2 laps. We'll just leave that the way it is for now. If it becomes an issue, we can change it. Over here at the default go-kart track, we have to change this one to full load. We'll take off the wait time on this one as well. We're good to go. Wasn't this something else too? Yeah, this was Castle Carts. How about Castle Sharts? And then this one I don't think had carts in the name. Yeah, it's Ring Racers, which, I mean, you can take that with a grain of salt, but that could be something there too. So we have Crank Shart, we have Castle Sharts, and we have Ring Racers. All right, come on, Crank Shart. Can you just finish your test, please? These things only go 6 miles an hour, so it probably takes a while. Here we go. First car coming back. Boom. What do we got? Prestige of 1159. Let me make sure our math is still good on that one. All right, Crank Shart is now open. We are now accepting guests. Go in there, get your shart on. God, that's bad. That is just bad. Are we gonna just name this whole park the Shart Park now? Is that what's happening here? We got a bunch of rides breaking down, but that's okay. We are in business, you guys. Look at this, dude. Castle Sharts is performing very, very well. There is apparently a way that you can actually drive the go-karts somehow. I'd have to look it up, honestly, to figure out how it's done, but I think this turned out pretty well. Actually, let's get a better look at this track before we wind things down here. This is cool. They definitely haul balls for just being go-karts. I feel like this is faster than the other go-kart track that we made in Paradise, for sure. That's pretty cool. I like that. They're on their finishing lap right now. And then do we dare get a better look at Crank Shart? I don't know if I want to know what this ride's all about, to be honest with you guys. It looks like you just kind of go through the garden in the back. What is this, the Garden of Eden? And we got a mermaid up there. It's pretty frame ratey when you're fast forwarding. And then you just go through a house? Like, whose house is this? That's kind of creepy. It's not like a spooky house either. You only go through the main floor. Alright, I mean, it's cool, I guess. Like I said, I think kids and maybe families are gonna really enjoy that one. And then over here, I don't think we have to ride this for you guys to get the full picture because there's nothing obstructing the track anywhere, but it looks pretty good. There's no chicanes in this one. Oh, yes, there is. We got a chicane section over here. I like it. It's gonna help out the park a ton, I think. With that being said, you guys, I do think I'm going to wind things down here. The next episode we will be going through and riding every single ride in this park right here, the hardcore park. And hopefully you guys are excited for that. But I do think I'm going to wind things down here. Now, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.